I'm Chris McDonough, a retired homicide detective. I've interviewed thousands of people, from serial killers to ministers. Welcome to the interview room. Hey, aloha, everybody. Welcome to the interview room tonight. Grateful that you're here. It's good to see everybody. As you can see, this is a quite fluid and dynamic situation with a tremendous amount of emotion in a lot of different directions here. But the most important piece for this channel tonight, and obviously if you're a member of my channel and our channel, because we are one big family here, in my opinion. We have the most amazing mods, I think, on YouTube. We got Miss Sophia, Maui Girl, Mimi J2, Four Sons Mom, Melissa Hart, and we're just grateful for all of our members, but more importantly, our subscribers as well. This is what I like to call a really good place to be. I like to ask right up front that we're classy in terms of how we treat others and treat each other, because I've learned over the years that there's enough hate and discontent in the world that when you're trying to investigate homicide and or missing persons, and more specifically a 5-year-old little girl like the authorities are, then the way you get to information that is truthful is by treating people with respect. And as you can see in that interview that Candice just gave, that is part one of 2 interviews. We'll have the other one up probably tomorrow. So if you get an opportunity, subscribe to the channel and come back where she's going to walk me through the house. And she's going to go bullet by bullet on what happened the day little Summer vanished. It is not my responsibility to get her to, say the truth or to lie. That is law enforcement's responsibility. I am a member of the Cold Case Foundation, as you can see here. We are a 501c3. And everything we do supports law enforcement and victims' families on an international level. There are over 125 members, from the woman who invented and discovered touch DNA to Greg Cooper, who's our executive director, who actually ran the behavior science unit with John Douglas back in the day for the FBI. So I came to Tennessee and made contact. Candice and I and others had connected, and she and I thought it would be a good idea for her to speak about what she recalled that day. We're not going to get involved in what the authorities are doing, even though I happen to know, folks here at TBI. They've not asked me. I'm not acting as an agent on behalf of, TBI or anything to that effect, for court purposes or anything like that. However, I am, when a mother says, "Can you help me?" and such as Candice, I'm not, and our association certainly is not going to turn that down, whether there's guilt or innocence there. That is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to let law enforcement figure that out, and hopefully this interview and others will give them the tools to progress in that end. So we thank everybody for being here. We appreciate you very much. We thank you for your support. We receive thousands of emails of support, and anything that becomes evidentiary in nature, the Cold Case Foundation, as well as myself, we turn it over immediately upon request to law enforcement authorities if it's necessary. So nothing is held back at this end. Nobody's getting paid for interviews or anything like that. This YouTube channel was started when a buddy of mine said you should start a YouTube channel. So here we am. I wasn't there also to call her out on her statements. That's for the authorities to do, because this is a fluid, active investigation. And anybody knows a good investigator does one of two things. There are two ways of getting information, and one of the two ways is wrong. And I use the analogy of a string. Okay, it's this idea that says, if I push that string, then you get the result of pushing a string. If I pull that string, then that string gets to your destination where you're pulling it. So that comes with experience. It comes with treating people with respect and dignity. I've sat across from serial killers who I've asked them, would you like a cup of water? Okay. And if you have any questions about that, then go take a look at the interview I did with Brandon Wilson. He was a child killer who slaughtered a 9-year-old little boy in the bathroom where I used to work. I have worked hundreds and hundreds of murders and investigations internationally, and my bio will speak for itself. So I wanted to hear what she had to say. And I did not, want people, or what I asked for people in the chat here is to just sit back for a minute, take the role of an investigator, because that's what we do in this new genre of true crime. But what I want you to think about is, as we listen to folks, okay, whether we think they're telling the truth or not, okay, sometimes it's better just to sit back and be patient. Okay, and so you'll see tomorrow a lot of details come out in relationship to that day when Summer went missing. In fact, when I got there, I had many aha moments. I'm not going to reveal what those were because I think the authorities may have had the same aha moments, and that was the same when I was talking to Candice down at the water's edge. That said, I really have to applaud her and her bravery to come down there. She did not hesitate. She and I spoke the day before. She told me that we could connect. She said, "I'm going to go to church," which I confirmed that she did that morning, and then we connected in the afternoon to go down. And I asked her if she would walk me through what you just saw there. So that was pretty interesting. So here's what we learned. Okay. And there were many times in this interview, and I apologize for the wind. The wind was atrocious down there for some reason. And I apologize for the sound. Hopefully some of you, will be able to, fix the sound a little bit more. But when I got down there, the first thing that struck me, she was wearing that little shirt that says Paw Patrol. But it says Mom, Mom Patrol. And you'll see when she points out some of Summer's toys, how significant that is in relationship to the victimology and the dynamics of this little girl. One of the things that is critical in a missing child case is to understand the behavioral aspects of not only the family dynamics, but also the children and the child. That was a rough day for her when she gave this interview because, and she let me share this with you, because that was the day that the children were, uh, they had just recently been removed from the home, and she felt this void of everything that's going on, a lot of different things happening inside of her in relationship to some of the social media things, as well as the authorities. um, but to her credit, she came forward and she said, look, I want to do this. And this whole interview was, as you can see, it was a free flow. I didn't go down lanes that I'm sure a lot of people felt that should have been down, but that's not my job. My responsibility here is to let her tell her story. And that way, it's non-judgmental in relationship to, who she is. We all struggle in this life. And one of the cases years ago that I was involved in is a little girl by the name of Leticia Hernandez, which I've talked about extensively. But there were a lot of players around that investigation, and others. Matthew Checky is another one. In San Diego County back in the day, we had a series of children that were, Danielle, that were murdered. And I got selected to go, and my background is criminal behavioral analysis with an emphasis in criminal pedophilia and folks who choose children to victimize, okay, for murder for sexual gratification, basically. And that said, I was involved in a lot of different things through my career and through the Cold Case Foundation, where I'm an instructor. And so a couple of things that I think we need to be aware of. She talked specifically about, the Paw Patrol, little ponies, bracelets, basically girly things. And you're going to see this tomorrow. And you're also going to see, really the environmental dynamics that Summer, the boys, mom, dad, grandma we're dealing with here. The one thing I will not say, or the one thing I will say, is Don was not home. He apparently was at work. Grandma is not there any longer. Her trailer is locked up, and it looks like she has left the property as well. So, Candice was pretty straight up in terms of, yeah, come on. I mean, if you'll see at the, if you watch that video again at the end of the interview, when I said, would you walk me through what happened at the house? She's the one that said at the house, and volunteered it almost immediately. So you'll see some of those dynamics tomorrow. And I think this next one is really going to tie a lot of understanding together for this particular case. So she starts out this idea of the children, going down to the swimming hole there, and because, she likes to, keep her kids away from other kids. And she gave, the reason for, because of the medical issues, i.e. COVID and a variety of other things. Okay. And she says that, look, I'm not the type of personality that likes to be around crowds. She sticks to her family, those types of things. I asked her off camera about some of the dynamics in relationship to, some of the addiction challenges and stuff. And she didn't deny them. Okay? But she also didn't say that, this was a situation in her mind that day that was taking place. And you'll hear some of that on tomorrow's interview. One of the most interesting things that struck me almost immediately when we started to walk towards the water, and when you go back and watch the video, she said that Hunter immediately went off, to the right into the woods. Okay. Now, remember, I had an 80-20 rule when I was talking to Hunter. Okay, uh, so that's going to go up on the board of that 80-20. And so she also said that he took his shirt off almost immediately. But what was striking, almost immediately, she said that Summer took off towards the water. Okay, and one of the statements, you'll hear it again, and other experts will weigh in, I'm sure of it, body language experts. I mean, I love those guys at the behavior panel. I mean, those guys are top notch. I'm sure they're going to catch some things that I probably miss. But, when I was talking to her, I was wearing my sunglasses on purpose so that I could watch, some of the eye dynamics in relationship to being directly across from her. Okay. And there were times where it was very clear that she was being truthful, very clear to me. She showed emotion. She was crying a lot of the times towards when she was describing how, she feels that the world has turned against her right now. And so I think we should, let the authorities do their thing. And at the same time, be compassionate in relationship to maybe there's more dynamics going on here that we're not aware of yet. Okay? But at this point, when she was describing how Hunter took off, maybe she's trying to disassociate, because of some of the other dynamics maybe going on. I don't have that answer right now. Okay? I don't know. Okay? She denies it. And so just like Hunter denied it, Hunter, said what he said, and she said, look, I treat him like, a stepson, basically. I forget her exact verbiage, but if you go back, so I'm sure somebody will correct me and keep me in line. Okay. So they get out, and, they get to the swimming hole. She got out of the car first. She let Summer out. Summer was sitting by the outside of the door. Hunter was behind the passenger seat. And so it sounded like to me that, Summer got out right away, started to shoot to the swimming hole, and then Hunter either A, went out the other door, or he slid over. I didn't qualify that. I figured at some point that would be, something that would be discussed. So he goes off into the woods, and she says, I don't know where he went. Okay. Now, this is Candice speaking. So, that's up to her to tell us, what she remembered that day. Okay. She said herself, Grandma, and Summer walked down the path to the water, so Summer could play in the water. Okay. Now, she made one very interesting statement as we were walking, and you'll hear it. Go back and listen to it. She goes, everything is in slow motion now. Okay. Now, typically, folks who, like, and I'll give you an example, like an officer involved shooting or a victim of a very violent crime. Okay. And I'm no psychologist, but I've been around long enough to know that when people have suffered a tremendous amount of trauma and or been involved in a traumatic event, okay, remember, we all know the verbiage of tunnel vision and how everything slows down. Everything slows down. And it's almost like, you're living in a movie in relationship to your environment around you and how things are transpiring. So I thought that was a very interesting choice of words when she said, that everything, quote, is in slow motion now. So the closer we got to the water, then things started to dynamically shift for her in her mind and in her heart. Okay? And I think I saw some of that shift towards the end. She's a very strong woman. She's very street smart. There's no question about that. And she and I laughed, off camera a little bit about that. But, she also, I felt, was being forthright. Now, whether that lines up in totality, I'm not going to make a call right now. Either way, I'm going to let you watch that video tomorrow, like when I got to her house, and then you and all of us can get back together, and I'll give you my 2 cents on that piece of the puzzle tomorrow. A couple of things that were pointed out, which was different than what Hunter told us. Hunter mentioned that when they got over there, Summer changed clothes inside of the house. Candice tells us that the bathing suit was on before they left the house and they went over to Hunter's house. Okay. Also, Hunter, according to Candice, calls her, okay, and not her calling Candice, according to her. Okay. They get to the water. The baby's playing at the trees there, or excuse me, near that tree branch in the water. She doesn't recall time specifically. There is some evidence that, they went to a Walgreens later, and that timestamp will lock things down a little bit clearer. I'm not going to mention what I know about that any further. She does recall, though, that Summer did not fall on a rock. Okay. There's been a lot of conversation about slipping on a rock and potentially, she could have gone down and under. She does not remember seeing Summer go under the water. Okay. So what she was telling me was she was not introducing that as a possibility of, why this thing could have gone the way that it did, i.e. a dry drowning or whatever. Okay. I don't have anything personally that day or today to, counter that position, Carly, other than we have 2 separate statements. We have Hunter saying that she did, and we have her saying now there at the scene that it did not occur. Okay. We're just going to have to, you guys are going to have to, all of us are going to have to wait and see, what the factual points are going to be on that piece of the puzzle. While Summer was in the water, Candice, said, yeah, I was doing TikTok video. And that is the video that everybody has seen around the world in relationship to this little baby and this baby swimming. Okay. Now, Hunter says they weren't paying attention. Grandma and Candice, Candice. Yet Candice, said right then and there, you heard it, that they were all paying attention. However, there was some time where she was, looking at the TikTok videos and taking TikTok videos, as well as focusing and concentrating on the flowers with her mother. Okay, so I think that's still in play. It's up in the air at this point. There was a time where she introduced that Hunter was flashing gang signs, and I almost laughed at that. Coming from Southern California where I worked, quite frankly, the kid wouldn't last 5 minutes in some hardcore set, to be honest with you. But she feels that he feels he's a gangbanger, and that's where it gets left, right? There was a time in there where he was splashing water on Summer, and she told him to stop because, quote, she does not like that. That was a true statement, an honest statement, because it was so spontaneous that was a spontaneous statement that a mother would make under those circumstances, okay? Because she's looking over her baby, and she immediately stepped in, okay, to fix that. Candice, on the can of tea, that's still a discrepancy in relationship to he said, she said. She said there was a lot of trash around that day, and there was a lot of the those types of cans as well. But she did mention that she did go into a store and bought that type of tea and gave it to her mother. Okay. At this point, I'm going to leave it up to the authorities to figure that piece of the puzzle out. Okay. So, and maybe she doesn't want to say because she's afraid of getting in trouble for turning it over to a minor. Okay. With all of the other stuff going on, maybe that's her logic. And so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt in relationship to that right now. She and her mom were picking flowers that were in bloom nearby that day. She told her mom, don't pick those things. It's a state park. You can get in trouble for picking those flowers. And she mentions, quote, I'm not getting caught for that. Okay. So there you go. All right. So I'm going to put the video up real fast. Dillan, and by the way, Dillan's back, everybody. Say hi to D-Man. He took a little vacation on me. So D-Man, let's put the video up and let's do a quick, let's run it down to where we were just at. Let it run for a couple of minutes here. And then I'll tell you when to stop.
Some woman made this shirt for me. I'm not sure exactly what her name is.
And tell me the significance of this shirt. Why is it so important?
Because my daughter loved Paw Patrol.
Okay. Yeah, she did Paw Patrol. What else? Princesses.
Ponies, and she loved Frozen. Then she started with they're little animals, but I'm not sure what they are. And they got
Let's stop it right there. Does anybody know what? Does anybody know what those little animals are? Right, put it in the chat here. If these little animals that have really big eyes, I've heard different things. Let's see here. All right, keep playing it. And if somebody knows, LOL dolls. Okay, I see a couple of those. Okay, go ahead, Dill.
I remember what the name of them are. I got a couple on my window.
Are they like little? They got like the big eyes, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Tiny beanie baby.
Yeah. She likes bracelets and jewelry, and
LOL
she's
pets.
just
Thanks,
a round
Michelle.
girl.
Yeah. So let's take me back to that day when y'all were here swimming.
Okay.
You okay with that? Okay. So let's walk me down. Is this where you parked?
Yeah, this is where I park. I park here all the time.
All the time. And now, do you come here a lot?
I used to come here a lot. Yeah.
And do you bring the kids here?
I bring the
Beanie
kids here
Boos.
all the time, and they either
Thank
fish
you,
or swim,
Joe.
Okay.
whichever.
Right.
Funky Pops.
There's nobody down here hardly.
Right.
Okay, let's
it's away
stop for a second.
I don't like.
And thank you, everybody, for jumping in there. But this is a good example of how investigations go. Okay. We probably just had 5 or 6 examples of what she could be talking about. Okay. And we just got another one, Little Pet Shop. Okay. So this is why it's really good as a true crime community that we kind of keep an open mind because we don't know. Okay. She doesn't remember what they were, but I'll show you some of them tomorrow in the video. Okay. And so let's see, if it was speculation or, guarantee here. So keep going, Dale. And thank you for your answers.
Have the kids around a bunch of other kids because of all the sickness and stuff that's been going around, different kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this was more secluded, private kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm more of a quiet kind of person. I don't like to be in a big crowd.
Yeah.
I tend to stick to myself and my family, and that's it.
Yeah. And when you guys got here, who was with you? There's a lot of rumors
my
about.
My mother was with me.
Yep.
And my daughter.
Yep.
Summer, and Hunter was with us.
Okay. Now, tell me about the dynamics of what everybody was doing. Who was doing what when you first got here? What happened?
I got out of the car first, and then I opened the back door because my mom's got a double door on her truck.
Right.
So I opened the back door and I let her and Hunter out.
Okay. And
Summer's first thing is to run to the water, of course.
Right.
I was like, Summer, just wait. Let me get my stuff, and I'll walk over there with you. And she waited for me, and I don't know. Hunter went off into the woods somewhere. I don't know where it went.
Now, where was Summer sitting?
She was sitting in the middle seat.
Okay.
Hunter was sitting on the end.
Okay.
And my mom said, hold on a minute. So we waited for my mom to get out.
Okay.
And Hunter, he just done disappeared into the woods. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Okay.
And me and my mom and Summer walked over there. And we were just letting Summer play. And then Hunter eventually come back out of the woods wherever he was.
Okay.
And
So let's walk over there. Show me. And I'll just follow you, okay?
no,
I'll follow you on which direction. And
everything's slow motion now.
I know.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Show.
Did you guys hear that? Did you hear what she just said? Everything is in slow motion now. Okay. Now that tells, and maybe there's a couple of psychologists out there that deal with traumatic incidents in people. That to me, when I heard that, as my experience told me, okay, there's more going on here. Okay. There's more going on here. And so I don't know what those dynamics mean, okay, at this point. I don't think any of us do, right? And Maureen says PTSD. Yeah. So I don't know if she's, been battling addiction problems, struggling as, a woman who is involved in, stuck in an abusive scenario. I don't know if this is trauma that she is, processing in relationship to Summer, and or something, somebody around the environment may or may not have done. I don't know those dynamics right now. What I know going down this path here is she is indicating to all of us, there's a lot going on here. Okay. There is a lot going on here. Okay. And she'll keep going, Dill.
So which direction does Hunter go?
He went that way.
He went that way. Now, was he in a bathing suit?
No, I think he just had his shorts and his shirt on.
Okay. And Summer, was she in her bathing suit?
Yes.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or...
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
So it was just something small and thin, not so hot.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay. And what was the temperature that day? Give me an idea.
Probably in the 80s.
Okay. So it's Tennessee warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it is now.
And are you an air conditioned person, or in your mom's truck was the AC on or
I
off?
don't like AC.
Okay. Okay. So what happened? Where do you guys go, and where's Summer going here?
We all walked down this path, me, my mom, and Summer.
All right. So all three of you together.
Yeah.
Now, how does Mom's knee handle this hill here?
Well, she uses her cane, so it's a little bit easier, and she'll hold on to my shoulder so
Okay.
she doesn't fall or nothing.
So you're kind of escorting her down here.
Yeah.
And is Summer ahead of you or behind
She's
you?
right here in front of me.
Okay. So walk me through that.
Oh, we're just walking down through here. I mean, usually, like I said, we go slow because of my mom's knee.
Okay.
Myself.
Okay.
I was just standing here at the end, and then, well, the water's up a lot further than it usually is. Usually it's down. You can usually see all that wood sticking up out of the water.
Okay, so let's stop there for a minute. Stop there.
And
so that is a memory of the event that just came back to her immediately, because it was a nondescript idea that says, and she inserted it in the conversation, that the water was lower and you could see the branches a little bit higher than they are at that time. Okay. So I think she's reliving, that moment. And in her mind, based on what she just gave us, an indication of, her mind has slowed down a little bit more. And we see a shift in her when, as she's talking, and this is just how she is. This is her demeanor. Okay? And it helped me understand a little bit more about her by being across from her. But her demeanor really is, I'm sure she can go 150, 0 to 60 pretty quickly, like all of us can. Okay? But for Candice, her demeanor, it was quickly up here, and then she slows down. Okay, she slows down. Okay, keep going.
And what time do you get here about? If you remember.
I couldn't even tell you, to be honest with you. Time is... I don't keep track of time.
No, I understand.
I mean, I get up in the morning, I do my thing with the kids, and then we go to bed.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you. I know I went to the hospital at 8 with my mom, dropped her off, and I was sitting there, and Hunter called me and asked me what I was doing. I said I was sitting at the hospital in the parking lot waiting on my mom to get done. And he said, well, why don't y'all come over? I said, well, as long as your mom says it's okay. And I guess he woke her up or said something to her, and he said, yeah, she said it's fine for a little bit, because I guess his grandma was coming over or something. She don't like her. I don't like her either. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, seems like you guys have had a falling out. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And,
it was stupid part on Al, really, honestly.
what was it over?
Well, I don't know if it was her husband or Hunter's, I'm just going to say Hunter's daddy. Come out with all these guys and stuff, and we're supposed to move down here. And they couldn't find a place to stay or whatever. Well, I don't really remember what this guy's name was. I know he's a Mexican, I think. And she
that Jose guy?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, she wanted him to stay. And she was also staying at my house.
Okay.
So I said, well, if you're going to be with him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's y'all's deal. And I don't know, they did whatever they did because I didn't really pay attention to them. I just hung out with the kids and my mom. And then one day he just goes, I like chicks with dicks. Mm-hmm. After him and her did whatever. And she got all pissed off and just said, hold on, take me and my kids.
I should have bleeped that. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So I don't even know what really happened.
Okay.
She just went off the handle. And ever since that, she's just been hateful towards me. And I don't know. I don't get it. Okay. I really wish I could understand it.
Okay.
And she stuck me with that guy. And then my husband got home. He's like, well, who's this guy, you know? And I'm like, Allie left him here, abandoned him here. I was like, he ain't got no place to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him got into a little squirrel. My mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard from him again.
So your mom drove him up there?
Yeah, my mom did.
Okay.
And I never heard from the guy again.
What part of North?
So we now have confirmation that there was, a gentleman by the name of Jose on the property, and that apparently Allie introduces him into the scenario, and who knows what's going on there, but I'm sure the TBI and everybody will figure that piece of that puzzle out. And guys, remember, this is why there's so many moving parts. You've got to sort through all of that to get refocused on just to find Summer. Okay. Because there's so many what ifs. What if this guy is now involved? So I found it interesting that Grandma takes him to North Carolina and dumps him off at a house up there and utilizes her truck to do that. Okay. I don't know who this guy was. It sounds like Dawn had a problem with it. It sounds like Candice was stuck in the middle and said, hey, get this guy out of here. I'm not sure exactly how Grandma volunteers to take him to North Carolina and drop him off at some house up there. So I think that's something, obviously, we've got to keep up on the chalkboard here in the interview room. Okay, keep going, Dill. Thank you.
North Carolina, do you know?
I don't even know.
Okay. What kind of vehicle did he have, if any?
He didn't have no vehicle.
Okay. But your mom took him
My mom took him in her truck.
Got it. Straight up. Okay. Then, so you're down here, and all of a sudden now, Summer is doing what?
Summer's just playing in the water right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing right here. All the flowers that died that were there on that.
Oh, so there were a bunch of flowers
There was
here?
a bunch of flowers right here, yeah, on this little petal. I don't know what, I guess they've all died now, but.
Okay. And where's Grandma?
Mom's standing right here.
Okay.
And I'm over here close to the edge just because summer's in the water, you
Sure.
know what I'm saying? That's
Sure.
my thing.
Okay.
And she's just playing, like a normal kid would play in the water. And then Hunter came from wherever he was and come down here and was standing here. I don't want to get all wet, but
yeah.
He was like standing here and someone was out a little bit further. They're pretty far apart from like me and your wife is.
Okay. Is that the TikTok video you took?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see how far they were apart.
Yeah, I can see it, right.
And with him sitting there saying that she fell on a rock, there's no rock. Where do you see a rock?
Right. Yeah, the only rocks I saw were right over here.
And let's stop that, Bill.
Up there.
Yeah,
there. When I was there, I looked even before she got there. I was actually there the day before, and I looked around for those rocks, and there aren't very many rocks over there. And in this area where we were, I don't see any type of rocks like that where she would have slipped. Now certainly could they be under that water? Yeah, it's possible. But, I didn't see them personally. There were some down on the other side. So maybe there's, something going on with that one in of itself. Okay, so much. Go ahead.
They're way over there, and I'm right here.
Okay. So this is where she is, though?
Yeah, this is where she is right here.
Okay. And how is she, what's her behavior?
She's jumping around, splashing, having a good time, just like Summer would always do.
Okay.
I mean, that's how all my kids are.
Okay.
They just splash around and have a good time.
Does she go underwater at any time that you see?
Oh, she just puts her head in, but sticks it right back up. I mean, it was only up to here at the time.
Where did this idea of under the water, where's that come from? Okay.
That just blew my mind when I heard that. I was like, she didn't even go into, because when she was playing in the water, I was literally taking the TikTok video just to watch, and I did different things because that's how TikTok is. You can do different things with them.
Right.
And I was just taking TikTok video, and he come up out of there somewhere, and I was like, just splashed around, and then he threw up gang signs.
Do you know them?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
And then he started throwing up gang signs, and I'm like, so I moved it back away from him as quick as I could, and I was videoing them flowers, and then back at Summer again real quick. And then he decided to get in the water right there, and he went like this with the water a couple times. I told him, please stop that. She don't like to be splashed.
Okay.
And so he quit and got out. And I said, come on, Summer, we got to go get Grandma's prescription. And we just got back in the truck and left.
Okay, so a lot has been said about the tea thing, right? And there's Can over there and stuff. Now, I asked Hunter,
when we come down
tell me
here,
the story on that.
This place was littered in trash.
Okay.
It was all trash down here. Like, them teas were all over through there, all through everywhere.
Okay.
There was flowers that my mom wanted to pick from here, and I said, Mom, you better not do that. It's a state park. You get in trouble for that if you get caught.
Okay.
I'm not getting caught for that.
Okay.
So let's stop right there for a minute. So you're going to hear her tomorrow talk about those polygraph tests. So everybody just kind of slow down for a moment because you're going to hear it right from her. And we'll see, we'll see how that unfolds. But there is definitely contention here between Allie and Candice. Okay. And Hunter, I can't say right now, what his motivations could be. I have my theories. I have my ideas. They're up on the board here. But I don't want to say, just yet, because I think we still need more information, as we think through this process right now. So I feel like she's got a little good flow. She's got a good flow going here, where, she's not having to pause, think, and kind of, not be spontaneous. I'm feeling that she's feeling comfortable. And that, some of the things she's telling us are truthful, and then other things, I'll reserve judgment on. But right now, what I'm hearing her say, I don't have any evidence that points that she's not, laying it out there. You know what I mean? She has, some long gaps. She's rethinking, she's processing, but you're going to see, I'm going to hit her with a couple of very interesting, questions. And then you see a demeanor change. But what I saw being so close to her, there was an emotional response as well. And, that can go either way, right? I mean, this is not a controlled environment where, you can lean over and, talk to people a little bit more intimately. I mean, here we've got the water, we've got the wind, we got a lot of moving dynamics or moving parts here. But I wanted her to feel comfortable, in which she did, and, kind of laying it out. So keep moving.
Walked on back to the truck, but I don't know where that iced tea coming from. I know that I did buy an iced tea from the smoke shop in town, but I bought that iced tea from my mother.
Okay.
And if she was here today, she would tell you that.
Right.
And the vapes that I bought were nicotine vapes from the hippie house.
Next door.
Right, next door.
Okay.
Well, no, they're kind of, one's further down by the mall. The smoke shop's further down by the mall where I got the iced tea. And the hippie house is just right over here before you cross over the bridge.
Got it. Okay. So the smoke shop where you bought the
we went to the hospital,
right,
and picked up my mom,
right,
and then we stopped at the smoke shop and I got mom that twisted tea that she wanted, and then I stopped at the hippie house and got me some smoked nicotine vapes is what I got.
Okay. What flavor?
I think they were Skittles.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like.
Do they have like a different flavor?
They actually taste like Skittles.
Okay.
It's the only kind I'll buy.
Okay.
And then we left from there and we went straight down to Walgreens and went to the drive-thru. But after we were done at the hippie house, I think we bought 3 of them. I think, to believe. And I set them right there on the council, and he asked for one. I said, no, you can't have none.
Did he take one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honest to God, I don't know.
Okay.
But then we went to the Walgreens and dropped off mom's prescription. I said, well, if we got to wait 30 minutes, why don't we just bring Summer down here and let her play for a little bit?
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay.
I mean, there was nothing. I honestly didn't see him drink nothing down here. I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't.
All right. So it's your word against his, basically.
Pretty much.
Okay. On this scenario right here. Okay. So from here, where do you
Okay,
guys
stop.
Walgreens, you pick up my mom.
Okay, there you heard it. So we've got he said, she said on both sides of the coin. Okay, one of the disastrous concepts in an investigation, right? Those poor guys and gals who are working so diligently on this, I'm sure, have a little bit more information relationship to sort through that as a whole. And before I forget, everybody, just real fast, I want to thank everybody for being here and supporting us here at the interview room. I was so grateful for your kindness and all the the consideration that's been coming in here tonight. I apologize. I haven't been able to acknowledge everybody right off the bat, but I appreciate you very, very much. And the super chats coming in. I want to keep this free flowing for her. And then, tomorrow night, tomorrow's video, you will see, quite frankly, I think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. It was for me. And so we're going to see where that's going to go. But so Dillan, let's keep moving on this. If you're just joining us, thank you. Please
okay, is that the Walgreens right down at the edge here?
Right straight across.
It's the one that I showed the other day that it's right down here?
Yeah, when we turn to come down here, it's right down the corner.
Okay, and you get mom's prescription.
Yep.
Then what happens?
Then I told mom, I said, why don't we get a Sonic?
Okay.
Because it's hot out.
Right.
So we drove in there, got a Sonic.
Right across the street.
Yep, right across the street.
Okay.
And then we left from there, and I went up Moreland Drive because I had to pick up a few things. I was in the store for maybe 5 minutes. Okay. Grabbed some milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else I bought.
Okay. And that's the foodless?
No,
or
priceless.
Priceless. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I was like, Hunter, you're not coming to the house. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going back to your house.
Okay.
And I took him back to his house and dropped him off and left. And Summer was still awake when I left his house.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And Allie did never walk to the truck and try to talk to me, or
Okay.
I tried to get her to come over and talk to me, but she wouldn't.
Okay. Where does from here, when you left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned, what flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and Mom a grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what Mom got. She got it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one, I think.
Okay, is that the slushy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slushies. I don't really.
Did you buy food?
Nope.
Just the slushies?
Just the slushies.
Okay. Then what happened?
And then we left from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and he was sitting there playing on TikTok like he always does.
Okay.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made TikToks.
Okay.
Honest to God.
I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Got it. Roger that. So from there, you go back to Hunter's house.
I drop him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of
the milk, it was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside.
Oh.
I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer and just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake sitting up.
Okay.
Like, she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I changed the clothes because when I have the windows down, it could be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows on. Roll up the window, Mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
That's
personality?
just Summer.
Tell me about Summer.
Tell you about Summer.
I want to know about Summer.
She's a happy little girl.
Okay.
She's the best little girl anybody
Okay,
could
let's
imagine.
stop.
Just
Stop.
like.
Okay, guys, so this is important here, where what I've done here is I've personalized her baby. Okay? And I want you to pay very close attention to how not only she responds, but how she starts to her emotion. And I'm probably maybe 2.5 feet in front of her. Okay. And I was paying very close attention to watching how, emotionally she was going to either deflect, internalize, or, process is what, some of the 3 ideas here. So watch her demeanor, and, don't slam it either way, plus or minus. Just pay attention to her demeanor tonight, because tomorrow you may have a shift of thought process. Okay. So go ahead, Dill. Thank you. Keep playing.
So I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
But, happy-go-lucky. Nothing ever brings her down hardly.
Mm-hmm. Today's a tough day for you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's been tough lately.
Tell me about that.
Well, every time I look around, I see her face.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rock. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
It's just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video record.
Okay.
Instead of the picture part.
Okay.
So I was like, did you catch it? She's like, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing Grandma the camera.
Yeah, well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did she put her arm back down? She's like, yeah. I was like, dang. And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down. But her arm was up most of the time like this. Right. And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down. Okay. And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car.
Okay, let's stop.
We went and grabbed the boys from the house and come help.
Okay, that's a spontaneous statement. We pulled up. I got out, unlocked the gate because they have a chain across their end of their driveway. Okay? We pulled up. I got out, unbuckled her because she was seat belted in. Two ideas to consider. When we pulled up, there was that chain across the driveway. You literally have to stop, get out. She has a key. You have to unchain it or unlock it. And then she threw it to the side, gave me a thumbs up, walked around, got in her car, and went up this driveway. And let me tell you something about this driveway. I had to put my truck in 4-wheel drive to get up this thing. Okay. So that was one thing I will tell you right up front, that, you know, if there is a stranger abduction in this thing, and there was a car utilized, that guy or gal or person did not go up that driveway. I can assure you of that. Okay? But when I did get up there were a lot of dogs, and you're going to see that tomorrow in the video. Okay. And I'll let you count the dogs. I asked her how many dogs there were, and she started laughing. And she said, you know, people just come by and drop the dogs off in the woods, and they all end up at her house. And so what was interesting, the other side of that is, as we were coming up the driveway, dogs were coming out of the woods. Okay. And anybody that knows my sweet Karen, she was like, there's a lot of dogs here. I'm pretty nervous because she only loves Buddy. You know, she doesn't two-time anybody. So, you know, so her dog, her fur baby. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because when you see tomorrow, as we go up the driveway, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, Dill, thank you. Keep moving.
Help us with the groceries.
Yep.
Because I always have them come help me do something.
And now, who was home when you got home?
My 3 sons.
Okay. And how old's your oldest?
He'll be 13 in September.
Okay. So was he babysitting?
Well, technically they weren't really. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
And I was just going to run out for a second.
Hey,
and
stop.
We never even planned. I didn't even plan for Hunter to even be with him.
Okay, that made no sense to me. They were watching TV and sleeping at the same time. So what I think, you know, she was processing is she left them by themselves at the house. And so she thinks they were watching TV and she thinks they were sleeping. So I didn't want to qualify that in terms of when you left, were they sleeping or were they watching TV? So what she did is combine the two spontaneously. So we'll see how that's going to work out. But I think in her mind, you know, she's telling it the way it is. I'm not seeing any indications right now of that couldn't be a possibility. What I do see though is Dawn apparently is not home. Okay. Maybe. Okay. I'm not 100% there. So just put that in the column. Go ahead, Dill. Sorry.
So that day.
Got it.
He just called and was like, want to come over for a second? I was like, yeah, I'll come over for a second, but I got to get right back to Mom. And that was all it was a quick second thing.
Got it.
And he's like, Mom, can I go with them? I'm like sitting there shaking my head like this, and I was like, I don't care. So I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
You know, I didn't even think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? I always take them kids. Every time they call me and ask me, come get me, I always come get them because their mom don't do nothing with them.
Okay.
She just sits there.
That seems to be the difference between you and Allie. You guys have a difference in terms of what you say you do and what she says she does, right? There's always that. It seems to be a conflict.
Conflict somewhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Finish your
But
thought.
I'm always taking the kids like it was, I want to say like 3-4 months ago. I went over to Allie's and I asked Allie if she wanted her and the kids wanted to go up to, I want to call it Ducktown because that's where we're planning on going with Ducktown. And she's like, no, I'm going to sleep, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. I was like, well, can I go? And Allie's like, yeah, go ahead. So we took him up to Ducktown with us and stuff. And brought him back, and everything was fine. I thought we were good friends, but I guess she's trying to get back at me for some reason. I don't know.
Those are reasons that
They're beyond me.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
and you know what? That's not for me, right? Let's let the authorities figure that out. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's
You know what I
stop
mean?
that.
Why I didn't really want to do.
The reason I said that is I want to qualify, an idea. Okay, back a while ago in San Diego County, there were, I think, at least 24 to as many as what was believed 43 prostitutes who were murdered. And there was a guy who ended up being arrested. His name was Porter. And as part of at that time, there was a San Diego County Homicide Task Force. And the suspect's sister had a van. Okay? And she would let him borrow the van. But here's where I'm going with this. Okay? As I was interviewing, some ladies of the evening, we'll be respectful here. Okay? I think a lot of folks don't realize, a lot of these gals and women don't choose to be out there at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's addiction problems. There's a lot of trauma in life and a lot of the things that, these gals know about, right? One of the last girls that I had contact with, and I was a vice detective from 1984 to 1986. And I interviewed a gal by the name of Elisa Ray Joy, who ended up being one of the body dump victims. And one of the girls told me at 2 o'clock in the morning about a guy who would drive around and would choke them. Okay? Well, why am I saying this? Because these were human beings. And a good investigator listens intently, not judging why they're in the condition that they're in. Because you will gain so many more nuggets of information about solving crimes and helping than saying, well, this person's a drug person or this person's that. Okay. I've stood over the bodies of many, many people. A lot of gangbangers, a lot of, ladies of the evening, a lot of different personalities, and grandmas and grandpas and whatever. Okay? A lot of classes of people. You don't get to choose your victim. Okay? And when I'm listening to her, okay, I asked her about her tattoos and a variety of other things off camera, and she was forthright with me. Okay? And by the way, she's got tattoos of her children on her leg, okay, of all of her children. Okay? This is just Candice. This is who she is. Okay? She knows she has struggles. She knows she has problems. She knows that her daughter's missing. Okay? I don't know, even to this day, what the authorities know that puts her in the circle or out of the circle yet. Okay? And so I think as we go through this, okay, we take our time, okay, and when you see tomorrow, a lot more light bulbs will come on. Now, are there dynamics within the family that are, definitely problematic for the children? Most definitely. Okay? You will see that tomorrow. Okay? But this is right on the heels. This conversation I'm having with her is right on the heels of the boys being taken out of the house. Okay? And so, and she makes a couple of comments, and you'll hear it. I feel like I've lost everything. My daughter, my boys, and then you'll see some of that emotion as well come forward as, we're talking up at her house. Now, I don't know what that means yet. Okay? I have some suspicions, okay? Certainly as we all do. Okay? But, let's kind of keep an open mind as we go forward. Okay, Dill, thank you.
I do interview because I'm not trying to fight this,
right,
or say something that I say. I'm not into all that game.
I'm here to help find your daughter?
I want to find Summer. I don't even care about anybody else's bullcrap. I want to find my daughter.
I do too. Okay.
That's all this matters to me.
I totally agree. I totally agree that I'm on that same page with you. All these people, I'm sure, are on the exact same page as well. I think you know that, right?
Yeah.
So walk me through when you got home.
Okay.
You unload the grocery. What exactly is going down there?
Well, I'm like, I bring my kids out, and we all unload the groceries, but we all go in my house first because we sort out my mom's groceries from her groceries. Okay. We always do.
Yeah.
And we did that, and Mom walked back across, and me and Summer were putting groceries away, and watching TV off and on, and just chilling with the boys, hanging out, and then we decided to do some laundry. Because laundry, my kids, they got 80 pairs of pants, 80 pairs of each one of them.
Okay.
So, doing laundry at my house is like
a job, right?
It's a job.
Right. Do you have a bulldozer?
Yeah, thank you.
No.
Totally agree.
Sometimes I wish I did.
Okay.
That's just
Got it. That's okay.
But
You're doing laundry
and stuff, and kids are all sitting there watching TV, chilling. And I stepped down, and I noticed Mom was sitting on the step, and her step is like literally from here to that tree, at my doorstep.
Okay.
I can literally walk over and be right there.
Okay.
And she's like looking around. I was like, "What's your problem?" She's like, "We got to get these plants transplanted into bigger pots."
Okay.
And she.
Now you're sitting on the front porch, or where are you all?
No, I'm not sitting.
Are you in the house?
No. She's sitting on our camper step right there. And,
okay.
And the flowers are here on both sides.
Okay.
And I'm just standing there. We're just talking. And she's like, "We got to get these transplanted." I was like, "All right, well." She goes, "Well, we know the boys ain't going to help because they don't like to do flowers."
Yeah, well, boy does, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, "But I know someone that will." So I ran back in the house and I grabbed Summer. She was sitting in the kitchen playing with her little, what are them? Little short guys with the big eyeballs.
Okay.
And I was like, "Summer, you want to plant flowers? Me and Grandma plant."
Is that the LOL things? Are they?
No, they're not. She didn't really like LOLs.
Okay.
She didn't care for those. No, I don't know what they're called. They're all kinds of different characters, like different animals, but they got big eyes.
Okay.
She liked them, so I bought them for her. And she was saying, I was like, "Summer, you want to do some flower planting and stuff?" She jumped up faster than anybody I've seen jump up. She's like, "Pretty flowers?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go over to Grandma's and plant flowers." Transplant is what we did. And so we did that, and I don't know, it took us a while. Probably 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I don't know. We're not real fast people. We don't.
Okay. Your Tennessee time.
Yeah,
just sitting on a porch,
chilling.
Drinking some sweet tea and just.
I don't drink tea.
Okay, but chatting her around.
Yeah, just chatting pretty much. Me and Mom drink Mountain Dew.
Okay.
That's what we do. We drink Mountain Dew.
Yep.
And summer, we got done. We washed our hands real quick, went in Grandma's house, and she asked Grandma for a piece of candy. She always does. Okay. And of course, Grandma gives it to her.
Sure.
And she wanted a piece of candy, so Grandma gave it to her. We were sitting there for about, 5-10 minutes maybe at the most. And she goes, "Mom, I want to go back to the house with my brothers." I was like, "All right." So I got up and I walked her back across to where I could literally see her walking to my doorstep.
Okay.
And she
front door, back door?
No, I don't know if you want to call it the front door or back door because I don't really consist which way.
Which door is it? Yeah, in some of the pictures I see there's a door around the bottom and the back.
Not the basement door. I call it the kitchen door is what I call it.
Okay.
And she walked in there and there's a scaffolding that we have for steps. The yellow and black scaffolding we have for steps. Okay. And I put my hand on the scaffolding. I said, "Boys, watch Summer. I'll be right back." And I had to go over and help Mom. She was still sitting over there. And I had to go and get her knee brace and fix it for her until we twisted the crap.
Okay.
It took me like 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a time person. Never have been.
Okay.
And next thing I know, I said, "Mom, I'm going back over with the kids, chill and hang out, whatever." And I freaking asked her brother, "Well, where'd your sister go?" She was just right here with you. "But she wanted to go play with her toys downstairs, Mom." I said, "I think none of them. That's where our room is. That's where her toys are."
Okay.
And after about a second, I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, "You sure she went downstairs?" They're like, "Yeah, Mom, she went downstairs."
Okay.
And my boys do not lie to me. So I went around because my stairs, my husband calls it a bar, but it's not really a bar. I call it a mess. We built it over the staircase. It's I guess you could call it a bar, but it's not really a bar because we don't drink that much. So, but it was like where we put our TV stand and stuff like that. And I walked around because that's where the steps are hidden up underneath there. And I said, Summer. And she didn't answer me. I said, Summer, are you down there? And she didn't answer me. So I ran down the stairs pretty much. I was freaking out. I was like, why is she not answering me? And I looked, I just went, I blew up. I went everywhere looking for her. So I couldn't find her nowhere.
Okay. And then what happened?
She was just gone.
Okay.
She was just gone into nowhere. And I started tracing the property, going everywhere I could. I sent my boys down through we live on a hill, so it was down by the creek. Okay. I sent them all down through there looking and everything. They still didn't find her? And they said no. So I ran over and I freaked out. I called Donnie because that's what I do automatically. I freak out, You
called Donnie?
I called Donnie. I said, I cannot find Summer. Come home now. He's like, call the cops. So I threw my phone down on the back of his pickup, ran over to my mom, picked up her phone because it's the only one that gets out there is AT&T.
Okay.
So I picked up her phone, I dialed her on. I said, I cannot find my daughter. And they sent people out, and I wasn't just going to stand there and wait for them to send people out.
Right.
I jumped in my mom's truck, and I went down the driveway as fast as I could. I went everywhere I could possibly think, every road which way. I didn't see no cars. I didn't see nobody at all. And I was like flipping out. I was a hot mess, so you call it.
Okay.
It makes no sense. The only thing that can come to my mind is that somebody snuck up there in that yard and took my baby girl.
What are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that?
From your perspective?
It happens all the time, all the way around the world.
I'm not questioning that it happens. I'm just asking you from your perspective, in your property, living up there as long as you have, Candice, right? What are the odds that happened?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
50-50.
Okay. What would be the 50% that it didn't happen? What are the other possibilities?
I have no idea.
Okay. Could she have walked away and fallen?
Knowing my daughter?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay. What's in your heart today in terms of what gives you hope and what do you hold on to? I mean, you've been around the block a couple of weekends, okay? I mean, so have I. And I think what you're telling me here, I have no reason to disagree with you. You know what I mean? I mean, there's going to be a lot of he said, she said, and you know, and I know, no matter what, okay? No matter what,
In my heart, I believe, now this is just the way I feel.
I respect that. Totally respect that.
I feel that somebody has got her hid out somewhere.
Okay.
And is keeping her away from us.
Help me understand why that's in your heart.
Okay, first off, I didn't know how many sex offenders lived around me that were only 8 minutes from my property.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Right.
And another, my daughter never goes out into the woods because we've taught her there's dangerous snakes, there's bears, there's packs of dogs, there's coyotes, there's everything magical out there in the woods that can hurt you.
Okay.
I've even taught my boys that.
Okay.
And I have never stressed that enough. I tell her that every day.
Right.
And she would never, ever go anywhere than that swing that's on that tree.
Okay. Yeah, tell me about that swing. Is that her favorite? I love those videos you put up showing her just having an absolute blast. That's a blast.
Stop, Bill. I made that cut there because that was Buddy barking in the background, so I couldn't get him to be quiet. So that's where that cut came from. There's nothing mysterious about that. Okay, go ahead, Dale. I'm sorry.
What about this call allegedly that Hunter says came in? Well, he said there was a call that Dawn made to you while you were in line at the prescription. Did that happen?
He called me and asked how everything was going.
Okay.
And how soon we were going to be home.
Okay. Hunter relates that he mentioned to you that Dawn had said something about somebody around the property. Is that true?
That is so.
Okay.
sorry to say, but that's a bunch of bullshit.
Okay, all right. Okay. And so where is?
I don't need to get upset, but when something
you're
like that,
here's the good news. Okay, this is your dog.
I know where my husband was.
Okay, but you have every reason. Don't apologize.
No, I'm just.
Okay.
Don't apologize. Me so mad that.
I mean, the fact that you're wearing Mom Patrol.
That somebody could stand there and lie.
People lie. To
law enforcement, to everybody. It makes me so mad that it just makes my blood boil.
Right. So she disappears.
I don't know what else to say.
What are the possibilities in your mind? I know what your heart's saying. Your heart's saying she's with somebody right now. How would we know how to connect that dot? You and me.
Well, like, for instance, that Dobbs guy that was supposed to be camping across at my neighbor's house.
Right.
He was there that same time. And then Tony Hammonds, whoever the hell he is, he was down through there.
Who was there when you got home?
There was nobody there. There was my mom mentioned the blue van across at my neighbor's house, but I just figured she had company.
Okay.
I didn't know about that was the guy that was trying to move in there. I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
And so I didn't think nothing. I just figured it was the neighbors. I had visitors.
Okay.
You know, I didn't think nothing about that. I gotta stop. I can't do no more. I gotta have a cigarette. Sorry.
No, good. Light it up.
I just don't.
Light it up, girl.
I don't want to breathe in.
No. Go blow it. Go. I'm not gonna. Don't worry about me. You should see me drive. I'm a mess when I drive.
You can't drive at night.
You got a lot going on, Candice. I respect you. I'm sorry that you're having all this problem. And no matter what we say, you or me, somebody's going to question it.
It doesn't matter what I say or do or try to prove to people. Somebody's always going to twist my stuff.
Right.
And for that one woman to go on there that works with Allie, she don't know me and my kids. She don't know what they do every day. Most of my boys were here. They tell you.
I've seen a lot of your pictures.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes. You know what I mean? That speaks a lot. That says a lot. Nobody's perfect though, right?
No, I'm not perfect.
I'm not perfect by any means, shape, or thought.
Never have been perfect. Never meant to try to be perfect.
And me neither. I mean, you.
I am a person just like you.
Yep.
Or your wife.
That's right.
That person out there on that jet ski.
That's right.
I'm no different than anybody else.
We all make mistakes. There's no question about that. No question about it.
I can't even enjoy life without my kids.
Help me understand what you mean by that.
Like how these guys are out here having fun with their family and stuff. I can't even go in that water and pretend to even have fun because what's the point? She's not here to enjoy it with.
You know, I lost a son.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I know that hole. I know there's a depth of pain that nobody understands until you have been in that hole. Okay? And
you know, I've been in this hole twice now.
Help me understand that.
Well, once when my mom called me and said that they couldn't find my little sister, Rosie.
Okay.
When she disappeared. And that was heartbreaking. But my daughter, that's twice as worse.
Right.
You might as well just rip my chest out, throw it out there for the fish to eat because it's worthless without her. I try to be strong for my boys.
She's crying right now. You can't see it, but she's crying.
I try to have hope.
She'll wipe the tears here in a minute.
I feel like everybody is against me.
It's all right. You wanna rest for a minute? You wanna take a break for a second?
Yeah.
Take your time. Nobody else is here. They're all gone. Everybody left. You know, the world today is so different than it used to be even 10 years ago because of
Those are not
people can get
crocodile
on,
tears.
this little
That was
device.
That was genuine
he's
emotion.
lying, she's lying, he's this, that, and they do it about me too. You're right. It's just so out of control almost.
I've really never seen so much hate in my life until now.
I believe it.
Honestly.
I believe it. I believe it. Because I think everybody wants to help, but they don't know how to help. So when they hear indiscrepancies, okay, automatically that take, what is that? Oh man, don't get stung on me now. You'll be blaming me for a bee sting. But they don't know how to help, or they want to help. And then of course there's one discrepancy on YouTube or wherever, and next thing you know it just gets crazy. I mean, I've had people say, oh, you paid Hunter to talk to him. Seriously? Am I paying you? No.
I don't want your money.
And I wouldn't offer it. Okay.
I don't want nobody's money.
I'm not here for that.
My daughter.
I'm here for that reason. That's why I'm here. Okay. That is why I'm here. I'm not interfering with the investigators. I'm letting them do.
I'm not neither. I'm going to let them do their job.
I'm let them do their thing.
Do their job.
Let them do their thing.
That's all.
Okay. And you came down here on your own to walk me through this.
Yes, sir.
I credit you for that. I respect you for that. Okay. And somebody's going to find something wrong with it, though.
Of course they will.
I'm giving you a heads up. Okay.
Oh, I already know this.
All right. I'm just telling you. Okay.
That's how the world is today.
It is. Now, the other side of that, okay, is if there is a suspicious person or somebody like that now you mentioned, or Don, I can't remember in the first interview, Donna had mentioned that on the news, he mentioned that he thought that she was abducted. How did that conclusion come so quickly? Help me understand that.
Because she never wanders.
Okay.
She always stays right there by the house, right there by the swing.
Okay.
She'll go to grandma's, but she'll be right back to the house.
Okay.
She'll never leave the house. She'll never go out of my sight.
Okay. So what did you tell Dawn at work when you called him?
I just said she was missing. I can't find her. That's all I said.
Do you remember where he was that day? What job site he was on?
I believe he was in Jonesboro at the Meadows, I believe.
Okay, and he's hanging drywall?
No, he's finishing drywall.
Okay, so he's a finisher.
Yeah.
Okay, a taper.
Yep.
Got it. And do you help him?
Well, I tried to help him yesterday, but I just...
Yesterday when I called you, is that where you were working? You told me you were working, and you said you were going to go to church.
Yep.
And you went to church.
Yep,
okay. So you did all the things you told me you were going to do.
Sure.
And I got it. Okay, so that all lined up. Okay. And now, when you called him, what was his reaction?
He's like, what, are you playing with me? I was like, no, I'm not playing. He's like, call 911, and that's what I did.
Okay.
That was all that was said.
Okay. What was Grandma doing?
Grandma was out hollering for as much as she could. She can't really get down my driveway's horrible. Horrible.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever been out there, but
I went to your end. I didn't go up.
Right, it's horrible out there. The driveway's nasty. Every time it rains, all the gravel goes into the creek.
Okay. Is Don home now?
No, he's actually at work.
Okay. Do you think you could show me where she was, where you were, and so we
At my
could?
house?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Is that cool?
That's fine.
Okay. Well, let's head up there.
Okay. Wow. Right. As they say in homicide, our day begins when your day ends. And so there's a lot of information to process here, folks. I want to give you a homework assignment. Be kind to each other, number one, because tomorrow your opinion may change either way. Part two is at the house. And so when you see what's going on down there, I'm going to take you into Summer's bedroom. And I'm going to give you the dynamics of the interior of the home, exterior of the home. And Candice was kind enough to go over step by step on what was going on that day, right down to where she parked, how they took the groceries out, and then she's going to walk us through the house and show us some of the things. And by the way, she did not know I was coming. She did not know I was going to ask, could you take me to the house? So this is spontaneous. She did not have time to clean up or anything like that. Now, I will tell you one thing. Don was not there. Okay? So I'm hoping at some point I can sit down with Don and kind of, figure out what his thought process is. Grandma is gone as well. Okay? So this has been a full night. We've got a lot of people here. We're grateful for each and every one of you. If you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing. I had to keep the chat to the members only because I don't like, trolls and all these other folks that come in just to throw everything into left field. Okay. I'm not about that. This is a little 5-year-old girl who is missing. I will tell you, if you troll my channel, you're gone. Okay. I don't, life is too short, and, this little girl, time is of the essence. Who did it? I don't know. That's up to the authorities to figure out. Where she is, we don't know. That's up to the authorities to figure out. It's our responsibility to help them. And so if you have information, call TBI. Here's the number. Okay. Here's the flyer. I've got a green screen, so that's why it's cutting through, so I don't want to do that. The number is 1-800-TBI-FIND. Dillan, put that in the chat, 1-800-TBI-FIND. Okay. We have a 5-year-old little girl by the name of Summer Wells here who is not home or not protected currently. We don't know what the totality of the circumstances are. It's our responsibility to be helpful and to help the authorities find that little girl. Okay. The Cold Case Foundation is a 501c3 that does just that. Okay. And so I want to tell all of our members who just joined tonight, thank you so much for joining. I had to keep the chat to members, like I just mentioned. And if you're new to us, we appreciate it. Hopefully you hang around. If not, that's okay. We understand. And then also a shout out to all of our subscribers and all of our members that have been with me and Karen and Dillan from day one. We're so grateful to each of you for helping us and supporting these types of efforts. Okay. And then most importantly, our team lead, Miss Sophia, you're amazing on our mods. And then, of course, our number 2 Maui girl, Mimi J2, 4 Sons mom, Melissa Hart. I can't say enough about the amazing things that you do. Tomorrow night or tomorrow, I don't have the time up yet, so subscribe to the channel and keep an eye on when I put it up. We'll do a deep dive after tomorrow's video. I think you're not going to want to miss it. It is going to be very compelling. Okay. So with that, Dillan, thank you, pal. I love you very much. Thank you, Karen. I can't do it without you, honey. Love you so much. All right, Dylan, let's go to Hawaii. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Have a good evening.
Hard working every day, I'm stressed out 24/7, babe. No timeouts, wish we could fly away. You and I go to our favorite place. Oh yeah, yeah. Make special memories together. I'll be your company now and forever. I say we fly away, you and me, go to our favorite place. Feeling the sun on my face in a while.